And it turns out that it's basically a manifestation manifesto. He realized that these people, they had, every single one of them woke up every morning and they had a burning desire for what they wanted. Burning desire. Would not say no. I just got chills again. And they also, things that we talk about, like they believed that they 100% could achieve it, that they would achieve it. And then another thing is that they had a mastermind. They had people around them that could fill in the gaps of what they didn't know, what they couldn't do.
Welcome to Next Level You podcast. I'm Stephanie Dingbaum, your host, your biggest cheerleader, and your go-to girlfriend for real, raw, and uplifting conversations about leveling up in life. As a mental health therapist with over a decade of experience and a business coach helping women elevate their lives and businesses, I'm here to guide you through the mindset shifts, holistic practices, and manifestation tools you need to step into your most authentic, next level self. Whether you're here to ignite your personal growth, elevate your professional game, or simply rediscover you, this podcast is your invitation to dream bigger, go after your goals, and unapologetically claim the life you deserve. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's dive in. It's time to up-level, manifest, and glow. Welcome back to Next Level You podcast. This is Stephanie Dingbaum. I have a special guest with me today. I have Liz Murray here. And Liz Murray is the co-founder of Future Self Apparel. You guys, I just happened to find Future Self Apparel, total happenstance. So I don't even remember what I was doing. I think I was just doom scrolling one night and I came upon this page and it was obvious that it was a brand new company. And I just loved Future Self Apparel. So every day, one of my daily meditations that I do is the Future Self meditation. It's like a 15-minute long guided meditation that I do. It was actually made by my business coach. And so when I saw Future Self Apparel, I was like, this is literally perfect. So I was pretty excited. And then I got onto their website and okay, so you guys know I'm a short petite woman. Anytime I find a company that offers extra smalls, that's a huge win for me. Like I do a happy dance because there's not a lot of apparel like boutiques or apparel companies that sell extra smalls. So I saw they offered that. Best thing about it though, besides the fact that I can fit into their clothes, is there are affirmations on all of their clothes, on all of their products, actually, because they have more than just clothes. And so I was hooked. I messaged Liz, I messaged the page, and in my mind, that time I was hoping to find more companies that matched my brand, my coaching brand, to offer affiliate marketing through. And so it was the perfect company. I mean, it literally fits the whole brand behind my coaching business, helping female entrepreneurs be their best, most authentic, most confident version of themselves to manifest their goals and dreams in business and in life. And so I was so stoked to find this company. And I have slowly gotten to know Liz just through messaging back and forth. But Liz, why don't you do an introduction for listeners?
Okay, sure. Yeah. So I'm the co-founder of Future Self Apparel. So what we do is we have clothing and other items that include your affirmations. So right now we have 23 affirmations you can choose from, hoping to expand on that. And like for our shirts, for example, we embroider them upside down on the wrist. And so that way you are the only one that's looking at it. It's more discreet. You're not announcing it to the world. It's not like, I am successful.
Yep.
Shirt, but every time you see it, the point is that you're connecting with your future self. So with manifestation, the whole concept of that is that if you're able to feel as if you've already achieved what you are trying to achieve, you are much more likely to tap into that version of yourself and manifest the things in your life that you want. So that was really the emphasis behind doing this. And there are other brands that do affirmations on clothing and things like that. It's not just proprietary to us, but our emphasis is the manifestation side. So really, if you surround yourself with who you want to be and you act as though it's already happened, and every time you see that affirmation, you're like, yes, I am confident. I am limitless. I am strong. Then you will start to become that. And that was the whole the whole point behind it.
I love it. I love the whole connection. Manifestation is huge in my life, but more than that is just my daily affirmations. And so, like I said, that's what really hooked me with your company right from the start was my favorite affirmation is I am abundant. And so that's the only one I have so far, but I love the variety of affirmations. You guys, like 23 is a lot to start. I mean, you're a fairly new company. When did you guys first start?
Yeah, I started working on it back in, I want to say November.
Wow.
And
Okay.
then I didn't want to launch it until the new year because with
Sure.
tax purposes, it would get
Yeah.
confusing to only have like a month, you know.
Right.
I waited until January, and I believe I launched maybe in the beginning of February.
Amazing. Wow.
Yeah, so it's only been a couple months so far, but we've had really good feedback. And like
Yeah.
I was telling you, I was getting a lot of feedback about having organic
Yeah.
products because that is super important for, anyone that believes in spirituality
Agreed.
and even just, people who love grounding or
Yeah.
earthing or anything like that. Like
Yeah.
having clothes touching your body that come from the earth and that are natural
Oh,
is
yeah.
super important, so we have
Yep.
that line out now as well, just for the hoodies right now. But
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. And you guys have just expanded so much, it seems like. So the idea started in November. What's your journey to starting this company? What were you doing previously and what led you to take this leap and start this business?
yeah, so let's go back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I went to school for physical therapy.
Oh,
So I'm
wow.
a licensed physical therapy assistant. I know you're a therapist as well,
Yeah.
but
Mental health therapist.
yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
that's awesome. So I worked in physical therapy for 5 years, mostly actually all in geriatrics. So I
Wow.
love old
Okay.
people. They're so
That's
cute.
amazing.
Yeah, they have really awesome stories and they're always so grateful,
Yeah.
especially when I did home care. So at first I
Okay.
did skilled nursing, and that is a challenge. That is a
Yeah.
physical challenge because you're
Yeah.
lifting people. Like I would be lifting, you know, 250, 275-pound men
Wow.
myself.
Wow. Yeah.
It's
Wow.
physically hard. So I did that for 2 years and then I switched to home care. So if someone is still living in their home, they're obviously able-bodied enough to be able to stand up and get themselves to the bathroom and things like that. So it made my job physically a little easier.
Yeah.
And they're just so grateful to have you come to the house and help out. And I really, really loved it. But then when COVID hit, so when I did home care, I was also working in assisted livings and
Oh,
independent
okay.
livings. That was like
Wow.
part of it.
Yeah.
And I was in Boston, and all of the assisted livings were getting hit really, really hard. And I actually have an underlying health condition that at the time I was terrified
Yeah.
because I didn't know none of us knew what COVID was.
Right.
Everyone's dying. Like,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
one, like, truly, that's how I felt. Everyone's
Yeah.
dying. We don't know what COVID is. I'm going into these assisted livings where, stuff
Yeah.
spreads like wildfire.
I bet.
So I took a step back and I actually started a food blog. So
Awesome.
yeah, so I have a food blog. It's called Recipe Hippie.
Ooh,
And
okay.
that was like my pride and joy for about 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Put everything into it. Everything.
Cool.
When I tell you how hard food blogging is, the amount of when you're like scrolling Instagram and you see these food videos and they're cutting from, cooking to, preparing to this, to that, it takes hours of filming and food prepping. And then you have to do the photography.
Right.
And then you have to edit the video and do the voiceover. And it got to the point where it was hard. I had 2 kids back to back. So I had my daughter in 2001. And then I got pregnant when she was like 7 months old. And then I had my son.
Wow.
So they're 16 months apart.
Wow. Abundance of babies just all at once. Love it.
Yes. Yeah. And so it made the food blogging really challenging.
Yeah, I bet.
And I loved it. Like I was doing a Mediterranean diet food blog. So everything was, it's super healthy. It's just how we normally eat, but it just got so hard. So then I was thinking, how else can I help provide for my family? I have the entrepreneurial bug. Like I
love it.
It's in me.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do about it.
Yep. I love that.
Yeah. So I was actually in the kitchen and I was writing. This was like, we just moved into the house in August. So this was probably in like September. I was writing my affirmation on my wrist.
Awesome. Okay.
I used to do that in high school, actually. I used to
oh my
write
gosh.
things on my wrist, whatever, to remember,
Yep.
And I never wanted to get a tattoo there. I don't
Mhm.
have any tattoos. I just didn't really want
I
to do
don't
it.
either.
And so I was like, I wonder if there's any clothing I can get so I don't have ink on my hand, look like
Yeah.
a teenager walking
Yeah.
around.
Yep. Yep.
My kids, like, I don't want my kids to, whatever.
I get that too.
So I looked into it. And like I said, there's a couple brands that do affirmations, but I didn't really see anything that was like very branded. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they were offering a lot of other things too. And nothing was like manifestation focused, which was my focus.
Yeah. Cool.
So that's really why I got into it. And yeah, and then I reached out to a few co-founders on it. And I ended up partnering with a girl that I played volleyball with in high school. And
Okay.
she's really awesome. Her name, if you could look her up if you want, her name is Cerise Taylor.
Okay.
She's like a host for all these different things, like race car driving. And
Oh my gosh.
this weekend she was out in New York with like Jake Paul doing interviews for his production company, MVP Productions.
Okay.
So yeah, she's awesome. And she's like super, super into manifestation. So she's the
That's so
perfect.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the two of you co-own it together?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. I love it.
Yeah.
So you've always been into affirmations?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yep. Since
Awesome.
I would say since high school. Yeah.
Okay. Very
Yeah.
cool.
I think my affirmations switch around depending on what I'm focusing on at that point in my life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What got you interested in manifestation? Like, what have you always been spiritual? Did you grow up in a spiritual household, or what was that story?
I'm wicked spiritual. Like compared
Cool.
to everybody I know, I think I'm the most spiritual, but I don't
Yeah.
necessarily know why. I think my dad, so I grew up Catholic,
Okay.
went to church when I was little, nothing
Yeah.
like crazy. Like I wasn't super, super religious. I guess I would still consider myself Catholic, but my dad is always the one who would kind of question things and be like, yeah, like, you should read the Bible, but then also read like the other scriptures and kind of formulate your opinion off of that. And he was really into Joe Dispenza, which is so fun.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, he had his book. Oh my God, it was the crazy. This is another like manifestation. I was talking to him a couple of years ago, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. And I was like, yeah, like this Joe Dispenza guy, it's got some really cool stuff that he talks about. And my dad's like, I have his book upstairs. You want to read it? And I was about to order the book and my dad had it already.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
I think I probably started getting really into it maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. And like,
Okay.
gosh, I've done so much research on it.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah. And it makes sense that your company is based on that. Ironically, I just listened to a Joe Dispenza podcast episode with Lori Harder last night. And so it's just so, it's been in my head ever since listening to that episode. I'm like, I need to listen to him more often. He's just such a powerful speaker, a powerful thought leader. He's just like, I put him up there like the top most, like the biggest thought leader when it comes to people that preach on manifestation. Like he just knows his shit. I mean, I love him.
I was talking to my husband about him yesterday. We were actually both saying, so one of the things that he like says with his, like when you go to his events and everything, that you basically like leave your body and you're no one, no thing in no time. Basically, you're in like a black space. And that is where creation occurs. It's like the void. And like part of me I was talking to my husband about it and I was like, is he talking about astral projecting? Because that freaks me out a little bit.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. I get that.
I remember when I was meditations right before I got pregnant with my daughter, and I was really into it. And I was getting to the point where like I was feeling like tingly. And then when I wasn't there yet. I think it takes practice. I wasn't there yet, but I was getting like weird tingly feelings and really getting into it. And then after I got pregnant with my daughter, I stopped because I was like, what if you astral project when you're pregnant? Right. And like something, I don't know anything about that. Like, was wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know. That just reminded me of it because we were talking about him last night.
That's fascinating. I feel like I need to listen to him more often because I really only listened to like a handful of his podcasts. I have a good friend that went to one of his like week-long conferences last year, and that really intrigued me. I mean, he puts on these just amazing conferences filled with meditations and just so many powerful topics that he covers. I just think if you get a chance to go to one of those, you'd be dumb not to take that
I
opportunity.
know.
He's
I know.
amazing.
I really want to go to one for sure.
Absolutely. So affirmations have just always been a part of your routine. It's just been something you've pretty much always practiced since high school. Have you had success with manifesting from your daily affirmations?
I would say yes. I think that the most success that I've had from manifesting has actually come from like changing, what's the word? Not really clearing limiting beliefs, but rewording them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
So I'll tell you the story of like manifesting my house.
Yeah.
So we moved in August of 2024. So just
Okay.
like 8
Wow.
months or whatever. So before that, we were living in a 1,500 square foot home.
Okay.
And there were 4 of us and a big dog. I've got a
Wow.
75-pound Catahoula leopard dog.
Oh, wow.
She's cute. So it was tight, right? And I was
Yeah.
so grateful for that house. We brought our babies home there. We got married there. Just so many memories, but we completely outgrew it. There were a lot of issues. So we were trying to manifest, I was trying to manifest a new house, and we knew what our budget was. We weren't really we were looking all the time at listings, but our house wasn't ready to put on the market. We were not actively looking. And one day I sat down with my husband and I was saying, I think we should do a meditation on manifesting the house. And he's not like, I don't know. He loves that I'm into it.
Yeah.
He's not sitting down meditating every day like I am.
Right. I get it. My husband and I are very similar. Like, I'm the spiritual woo-woo one, and he's very much open to hearing about it.
Yeah.
And I think he's catching on. He's definitely grown in that way, but like, we're not necessarily at the same place spiritually.
Right. I know. I get so mad at him when he's like, we can't afford that. And I'm like,
yes, same, Liz. I'm like, stop. No negativity, no scarcity. No.
He's kicking up on it. Actually, yesterday, my daughter was going through the mail, and I was like, oh, it's probably checks. And my husband's like, no, it's probably bills. And I was like, no.
Like, yep. I get it. Yeah.
But
that's too funny.
So we sat down and I had him list out and I did it myself, all of our limiting beliefs, like what we actually thought, we can't afford the type of house that we want was a limiting belief of mine. We are not ready to move yet. We, whatever. And then we went in and we reworded them.
Okay. Yeah.
We can't afford the house that we want. We are ready to move, and really focusing on believing it. And then we did like a 15 or 20-minute long meditation through Regan Hillier.
Oh, okay. I'm going to have to put this in the show notes.
She's from Australia.
Okay.
And she's huge, like into manifestation, huge.
Okay.
I did her meditation through Mind Valley. So she has
is that an app?
Yeah, it's an app.
Okay. Gotcha.
So she has like a whole program in there. And so we did the meditation and I didn't really think anything of it. This was like on a Wednesday, right? And then Friday rolls around and I'm looking at houses like I usually do. And this house that had been up for a while just caught my eye again. And I was completely out of our price range.
Sure.
But I was like, I wonder if maybe, Yeah.
Yeah.
And I reached out to our realtor, and there were 2 houses in the same town. And so we ended up going that Saturday. And we threw in an offer and they accepted it.
Wow. That's amazing.
Within like 24 hours. And
yeah.
I knew we were gonna manifest the house. Honestly, we should have offered less. Because I just knew it was gonna happen, but I was also in that fear mindset that we ended up offering more than we probably should have.
Sure.
And so we ended up, they accepted it. I had 6 days to get my house ready for the market, because part of our contingency was that we only had we had to get our house under contract within 2 weeks, I think.
Wow.
Something wild. It was crazy.
Wow.
So I had 6 days to get our house ready for market. It was insane. And I did. We sold, we moved, everything worked out. But that was crazy. I think
that's amazing.
I think also I've heard people say that when you can manifest with your partner, it's much more powerful than just doing it on your own.
Okay. I'm intrigued. I have had, hearing you say like, okay, we sat down, we wrote out our limiting beliefs. For the last, I would say, year, I've had thoughts about like, this is something that my husband's name is Mitch. I'm like, this is something that Mitch and I can sit down and do together. I've been doing daily affirmations for probably, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years now, definitely after COVID, but it bumped it up a notch, I would say, just in the last 2 years, where I record my daily affirmations, and it's like a 17-minute long recording because I have it for all the areas of my life. And then I bumped it up a notch again, and I made that recording into a subliminal. And so now I just listen to the subliminal every day when I walk. But I've had that thought about like, well, because it's just so, when you get good at doing affirmations, it's so easy to pick out other people's limiting beliefs, especially people that you're close to. And so I hear, like my mom or my sister or my husband say things, and in my head, I'm like, that's such a limiting belief. You don't have to think that way.
I know.
So hearing you say that, like, that's a pretty simple exercise that I think I could get my husband on board with. We could sit down, we could do that, even just for one area like you did, It doesn't have to be like all the areas like for me personally, I do it on health and wellness. I do it on finances, on business, on fertility. Like I do it on all the key areas of my life. But I mean, really, you could just do it for like that one area. Just so that if it's something like, I would just love to get my husband on board for him to see like, it's this easy. Right. Like your thoughts are this powerful. And then if he can just see it in one area of his life, I think he would be hooked, Right. So I think that's a perfect example of how to do it as a couple. Because I agree. I think it would be so powerful if you're both in that headspace together. Manifestations are just you're going to see an abundance of them come to life, I feel.
I think cool. Too, a good way, you just had my gears turning that I might do with my husband. I might try to have him manifest something really insignificant.
Yeah, yes.
Like ask for a sign like a blue butterfly or something. Something super insignificant.
Yep.
Then get his reticular activating system going, thinking blue butterfly.
Yep. I agree.
Once he's able to do that and able to see that, and hopefully that blows his mind, then maybe he'll be more open to changing the limiting beliefs and the wording around them.
Yeah, I love that. Because they say if you can just manifest something that you're not even attached to, like a blue butterfly, you're already surrendered to it. Like you don't have an emotional connection to it. So yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'm gonna steal this. This is great. Because I just think there's so many women out there that are huge into the manifestation world and practices. But then I think sometimes it's hard to show up as that version of yourself if you have a spouse or someone in your life who is just like poo-pooing on it. Like, no, that shit doesn't work, and then it's hard to like really show up as that version of yourself that fully believes and embodies that. I mean, manifestation isn't just like these daily practices. It's really just a way of living your life. But this is a part of that, I would say.
Right. Yeah. And it's funny too that you are similar to me as like being super spiritual and everything, because if your husband's similar to mine, they're the ones that are like bringing us back down to earth. While we're out here like very like.
Yep. Exactly.
So in a way, it's good that they can bring us back, I think, when we need it.
Yep. I agree.
Want him to,
Yeah. What does your husband do for a living?
He is in sales.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, he loves it.
Yeah.
How about you?
My husband, he was in sales. He works for like a farm supply company, like a catalog company. And he was in sales. He's worked his way up in the company, but he always calls himself a realist. And I'm like, that's just code for negative thinking. But you're right. It grounds us a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I totally get that.
Are you ready to step into your most abundant next level self? What if I told you that what you wear and surround yourself with can actually help you manifest the life of your dreams? That's exactly why I'm so excited to share Future Self Apparel with you. It is a manifestation-focused lifestyle brand designed to empower you with affirmations, intentional products, and daily reminders to live your most abundant life. As a mindset and manifestation coach, I always preach about embodying your future self now. And that's exactly what this brand helps you do. Whether it's through affirmation-infused apparel, high vibrational products, or mindset-shifting reminders, everything Future Self creates is designed to elevate your energy, align you with your desires, and help you become the person you are meant to be. Here's what makes Future Self Apparel so powerful. Every piece is created with intention, infused with positive affirmations and a manifestation energy. Wearing or using these products is a tangible way to embody your highest self daily. It's not just clothing, you guys. It's a mindset shift, helping you stay aligned with your goals and abundance. I've been obsessed with Future Self Apparel as of just recently because it aligns perfectly with the work I do, helping women build confidence, rewire their beliefs, and create the life they've always dreamed of. So, if you're ready to step into your highest timeline and become the future self you've been manifesting, then this brand, this company is for you. Head to the link in today's show notes to shop Future Self Apparel and start living as the most confident, abundant, and aligned version of you.
There's actually 2 apps I highly recommend.
Okay, yeah, why don't you talk about that?
So one of the apps that I really recommend is, she just changed the name of it. So it used to be the Higher Self app, I believe.
I think I just downloaded that.
No, it's called Activations. I'm going to double check here.
Yeah, I think that's the one I just downloaded.
It's called Activations now. It's by Mimi Bouchard.
Okay.
That app has been I don't even know what I would do without it. I feel like it's been instrumental in this past year of my life, fully. She has probably hundreds of pre-recorded, she is speaking, but she's speaking over music. So for me,
subliminals.
Music is very powerful. It elicits emotion in me like no other. I was listening to Encanto this morning with my daughter, and for some reason, the Encanto song, that's not sad at all, makes me tear up.
Yeah.
I'm so connected to the emotion in music, and it's a happy song. It's an excited song, but every single time I hear it, I feel this feeling because anyway, music is just so powerful for me.
Oh yeah.
She does all of her meditations over music, and you can choose from cinematic music, which is what I like, which is very powerful, uplifting, kind of what you would hear in a movie when the hero of the movie reaches the pinnacle moment and the music is
wow.
She has meditations with that as a background, and then she also has calm meditations, but they're for all different times of your life. So there's ones you can choose for cooking. You just put it on in the background. Walking. She has ones before a big meeting, after a big meeting, before you go out with friends, just to work on your confidence and your, whatever. And then the future self meditations and everything.
Okay. Wow. Is this a free app, or do you do a paid subscription?
I want to say it was $200
for a year, or
I think so. It was expensive.
All right. Well, I mean, these tools, the amount of work that you have to put into something to make that large of a library for people. I mean, you have to get compensated for your time. I mean, I don't think something like that. I think you deserve to be compensated for your time if you're going to develop something like that. So I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. What's the other app then?
The other one is Mind Valley. So Mind Valley is oh gosh, I don't even know how to describe it. It's this huge platform with they've got educational videos or trainings, I should call them, on everything from entrepreneurship to astral projecting to hypnosis to manifesting. Okay. Just a huge catalog of things.
Interesting. Awesome.
So I want to say that one was around $200 as well.
Okay. Love it.
But Regan Hillier has her program in there, and it's super, super popular.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. Have you ever heard of Yes Supply?
No.
Okay, so Yes Supply it's on YouTube, and all of her videos are free, and she has a huge library as well. I mean, she has subliminals really geared towards entrepreneurs. She has meditations. She has so many. Yeah, Reese is I believe, CEO of Yes Supply, and her library is huge as well. And I think they just started an app. If I remember, I thought I saw something on Instagram about them starting an app maybe, but that's what I listen to a lot. I just have it on in the background on my work from home days, her subliminals specifically, because it's helping you up level in business. And I'm all about that. Before I started making my own subliminals, that's pretty much what I listened to every day. I just had those frequencies on in the background, and I love frequencies. I do love music as well, but I don't know, something about listening to frequencies, it just like grounds and calms me. So that's kind of been my go-to is her stuff. But I'll definitely link all of this information in the show notes because this is fascinating. I just think some things really call to some people. And so it's just nice to have a variety of options, especially in the manifestation world. So you talked about how like manifesting your house was your most recent big manifestation. I'm just curious in business in terms like this is still a brand new business. You're still in year one of it. What are some goals? Where do you see yourself taking Future Self Apparel, or what are you hoping to manifest within the business?
Yeah. I mean, I set huge goals for myself.
Good.
So, I mean, one of my goals is I would really like to make a profit of $50,000 within the next like 6 months.
Yep.
I have connected with a few people who have very large engaged audiences.
Awesome.
And we're kind of figuring out the logistics of that and how and when they're going to launch with us. And then my co-founder as well is also going to launch with us. So we're kind of working out the kinks, but I feel like once it happens, it's just going to snowball.
Oh yeah.
And I'm hoping we're ready for it because it's actually funny. Like yesterday, or maybe it was a couple days ago, I realized my site on the back end was showing sold out and everything's made to order. So nothing's sold out.
Right. Yep. I get it. Yeah.
This is an issue, right? So there's little things that come up. It was just the weirdest thing. I don't know what happened. I figured it out this morning, actually.
Sure.
You know, Shopify is no help really. So I kind of just have to figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
But there's little things like that I'm like, all right, I'm glad that this is happening now so that once that snowball does occur, I am prepared and we are prepared as a business to handle it, you know?
I agree. Yeah. I was listening to a podcast earlier this week that talked about like, if you're wanting to manifest these big goals in your business, you need to make sure that you have systems and like, I need to have systems in place. If I'm wanting to manifest a caseload of 12 coaching clients at a time, I mean, it's pretty high, but like hypothetically speaking, I need to make sure I have automation in place, systems in place to support that caseload. If I did not have like a virtual assistant, for instance, there's no way I could make that a reality. And so that really got me thinking in terms of like, okay, what other systems besides what I currently have, what other things could I like automate in some way, shape, or form to support a larger caseload of clients or just a full caseload in general for myself? I just think it's great to have these big goals, but if you don't have, I mean, that's part of manifestation, right? Like action is a big part of that. And so part of that action is getting those systems in place and put whatever you can automate. Great. That's going to support making that manifestation a reality.
Right. And if you're trying to be who you know that you are, okay, so like I want to manifest $50,000 in my business. What systems would I have if I was manifesting that much money?
Right.
And I need them now because I want to act as if I already have it. Right.
Yes.
So I need those systems in place now in order to manifest that. Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. For me, it's like the next thing that I feel I can automate would be editing of the podcast. It's something that I love doing. I have enjoyed doing it up until this point. It doesn't like, yes, it's another task on my to-do list, but it's a task that takes like sometimes an hour to do. And so even though I enjoy it and it gives me an opportunity to re-listen to the episode, it's just one of those things that, especially now that we have a child, like I don't want to, that's time I could be spending with my family. Whereas before, like it was just my husband and we didn't mind. Like he was typically working when I was doing the podcast anyways. But now that we have a child, it's like, yeah, that's time I really need to be spending with him. And yeah, I agree. It's like that next level version of myself or the business. If I want to show up or if I want the business to be making or bringing in 6K, what do I need to be doing differently to make that a lived reality? And I think you're exactly right. Like those are easy action steps really, so that you can start showing up as that version of yourself. So you said you've been reaching out to like bigger names, to like people who have larger audiences. That's amazing. That's definitely a huge action step to manifest that goal. I love that for you. Yeah.
We got a client that has 1.3 million.
Awesome.
And they're really engaged. So we're working with him. I made him like a custom hoodie liner. that goes with his brand. And so we're
Yeah.
going to donate a portion of the proceeds when he launches to his a foundation that he supports.
Okay.
Trying to make an impact too. I think that's a huge goal of ours, is to be positively impacting the world and raise the collective vibration. If we're surrounded by our affirmations and more people understand it and they get the concept, people are going to be a lot kinder and manifesting the lives that they want, which
I agree.
make everyone better.
I agree. Some people who are not as spiritual as you and I might think like, okay, I'm going to wear this sweatshirt that says I am abundant. And okay, so whatever. It's just like words on my sweatshirt, right? But I am telling you, the first day I wore this, the fact that I saw that reminder throughout my day, and I think, things that are like out of sight, out of mind, like, yeah, I do my affirmations every day, but when I'm, in the busy part of my day, I'm not thinking about them necessarily. Whereas this is like insight and at the forefront of my mind every time I see it. Something about that reminder, like in front of my face all day, I just remember that day being such a powerful day, just seeing I am abundant over and over and over again. It was such a powerful day for me. So, to those naysayers out there who might think like your apparel line, it's just words on a sweatshirt, I'm telling you that is not the case. Like, and I know I am very spiritual. So for me, I was like definitely at the height of my spiritual journey, I feel, when I first got your sweatshirt, but there's something to be said about something that is on the forefront of your mind all day throughout your day. That's powerful. I just think it's not just embroidered words on a sweatshirt. You know what I mean?
Right. Definitely. Yeah.
I love that. One thing I thought of when you were talking was I go to the Powerhouse Women Conference every year in Scottsdale, Arizona, and it's hosted by Lindsay Schwartz and then her friend, Lori Harder. I don't know if you've heard of Lori. They're both big podcast names. They have such a large audience, and your line would fit right in line with what they practice, what they preach. I mean, this conference every year, it's like, I think last year was 800 women. Talk about like being in a room with women who are showing up as their next level version of themselves. It was freaking powerful. I mean, that's what really started my quantum leap last year, was going to that conference for the first time. And now I'm like, I'm going to go every year. Like, it's just, there's something to be said about putting yourself in a room with other like-minded people, and not just like a couple. Like, we're talking hundreds of like-minded people. You could go up to any woman in that room and be like, what do you do? How can I support your business? And that's what everybody extends to, like, everybody in that room. The first thing they say when you meet somebody is like, how can I support you in your business or your podcast or whatever it might be? And it's like, that's amazing. Everybody's here to uplift each other, to build each other up, to support each other. It's like a room of cheerleaders, and it was just such a powerful experience. So
that's awesome.
If you're wanting to get seen by, that was a name that I'm like, she should reach out to Lori Harder or Lindsay Schwartz.
What were their, I know it was Powerhouse Conference, but what was the name of like the podcast that they have?
Lindsay's is Powerhouse Women.
Okay.
And then Lori's is Earn Your Happy. Yeah, I think it's Earn Your Happy. Yeah, they are two just like Earn Your Happy, true powerhouse women, just at the core. I mean, they are
love to do some sort of like business trip like that. So I watch my kids full time. So
okay.
I watch my kids 12 hours a day.
Good for
7 days a week.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So I have, I do my business. I wake up early, and then I have their nap time, which is right now. And then I have after 7 o'clock, like 7 to 10. And that's when I work. That's how I built the website. That's how basically when I do the Instagram and work on everything else. So I still haven't really, actually, that is something that I'm trying to manifest, is childcare that I trust.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're in Rhode Island, right?
Yeah, I'm in Rhode Island. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was going to say, now that you have your little family, you'll know how I feel. It's like, you don't want to, it's hard to just like leave them with someone that you don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Do you guys have family nearby?
My family lives in Connecticut, so they're 2 hours away. And then my husband's mom, she's about an hour and a half away. So it's close enough that they can come, if they
Yeah.
need to, but I can't. My mom still works, and so I can't be like, hey, can you come on a Friday?
Right.
She's
Right.
working.
Absolutely. Is that also a reason why you decided to start this business? Like you wanted that freedom to be home with your kids, or was that something you were
100%.
doing
Yeah.
already?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I had the food blog. Financially, that was doing okay for a while. Small. It's small
Yeah.
compared to like half-baked harvest.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
I think I was getting like 23,000 page views a month. She probably gets
Wow.
50 million.
Oh, wow.
You
That's
know what I mean?
amazing.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so small relatively
Okay.
compared to the big ones.
Okay.
So that was helping with the bills for a little while, but since I've
For
slowed
sure.
down on that, I'm like, I got to do something, but I want to stay home, and
Yep.
I want to have an impact on the world. So
Yeah.
it's just trying to form it all in, and this really seemed like the shoe fit.
Right, right. Absolutely. I completely can empathize with that because I started my private practice primarily because I wanted freedom. I wanted financial freedom. I wanted time freedom. I wanted freedom to just be able to build a business that felt aligned to me and my values. So, and now that we have a family, it's like that why is really being put to the test. Like, this is why I worked so hard to get both my coaching business and my private practice up and running, is because I want that freedom to be with the kids. And I just think when your why is connected to your family, is connected to just freedom in general, you are more likely to really pour your heart and soul in it. You're more likely to really put yourself out there. And it shows, like those other businesses and companies who have that strong why, it shows. I mean, I just feel like of all the women that I've met since starting my own business, you can just tell when someone has a really strong why, it just really, they shine.
Yeah,
So I love that.
definitely.
I love that for
And I
you.
think, have you ever read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill?
That's not one I have
Oh,
read.
you have to.
Okay.
I
Okay.
could go off on a tangent about it, but
Really?
let me get to my point because I'll forget
Yeah.
it. And then I'll
Yeah.
talk
Do it.
about the book. But one of the things that he says is that you need to have a burning desire.
Mm-hmm.
And so his whole thing, this book was written back in like, I want to say 1933,
Wow.
a long
Okay.
time ago. He worked for Andrew Carnegie, and Carnegie came up to him and he said, I want you to dedicate your life to figuring out why super, super successful people become super, super successful.
Okay.
And success in their metric was, financially successful.
Sure.
And so Napoleon Hill dedicated like, I don't know, 20 years to interviewing all of the most successful people of the time.
Cool.
And he wrote the book Think and Grow Rich as a guideline to what he figured out from interviewing these people. And it turns out that it's basically a manifestation manifesto.
Wow.
He realized that these people, they had, every single one of them woke up every morning and they had a burning desire for what they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Burning desire.
Mm-hmm.
Would not say no. I just got chills again.
Oh yeah. Yep. I feel you. Yeah.
And they also, things that we talk about, like they believed that they 100% could achieve it, that they would achieve it. And then another thing is that they had a mastermind. They had people around them that could fill in the gaps of what they didn't know, what they couldn't do. Henry Ford was one of the people that he interviewed, and Henry Ford had like no education.
I remember. Yep. I remember hearing that. Yeah.
I don't remember exactly like if I'm pretty sure he didn't go to high school, like something crazy.
I think
like,
you're right. Yeah. Yep.
he had like no education. One of his teachers, I believe it was him, one of his teachers told his mom and said, your son, she wrote the mom a letter, and she sent it home with him and he gave it to his mom. And his mom read the letter and he was like, what does the letter say? And she said, the teacher thinks that you are way too smart and way too advanced for school, and she wants me to teach you at home so that I can excel you.
Oh my
So
gosh.
that's what he believed his whole life. But
Wow.
when he was like 40, his mom passed away. He found the letter, and the letter actually said, like, your son is a menace. We cannot keep him still. He's too dumb to learn. Like, we don't want him coming back to school.
What?
And so she put the thought into his head that he was everything that, he could be. He was the best. He was so smart and so good. And then look where that got him. I think that was Henry Ford. I hope I'm not saying
Yeah, yeah.
but it's from that book. That's
Yeah.
that book.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What a strong story.
Now that I think, I don't know. Sorry.
No, that's such a strong story. Regardless of who it is, the whole idea, the whole concept is just the words that we put into, not only the words that go into our minds as female entrepreneurs, but the words that we put into our children can impact them for life, you know? Mm-hmm. That's so amazing. Wow. Okay. So do you talk to your kids about manifestation?
They hear me listening to positive affirmations in the car on the way to the, wherever we're going. Yeah. They hear the podcasts I listen to. I think they're still very little, 3 and 2. So, but I tell them magic is real.
Yes.
We tell them that. I say magic is real. Yeah. What's one of the things we do? We do affirmations. There's this girl on Instagram. She does the Get Your Pink Back. Have you seen that?
Okay. No.
So her whole brand is that when flamingos have babies, they turn white because they're giving all their energy to their baby. And so eventually they get their pink back. So same with us mothers, you will get your pink back. It just takes time.
Liz, you're like speaking to my soul here. That's like what I needed to hear. Seriously. No, and flamingos are my favorite animal.
And you should get one of her sweatshirts.
Okay.
It's a really great cause because you wear it and you're like, yes, like everything's going to be okay. I will get my pink back. It just takes time. You're in the thick of it right now. So
yeah, we have a 2-week-old. So yeah, you're right.
So hard. But she has this like thing that she created that she says to her kids. So now I say it to my kids and we go, I actually switched it so that it's affirmations, but her version is, are we caring? And the kids go, yeah. Are we kind? Yeah. Do we love all of our body and our mind? Yeah. Are we creative? Yeah. Are we courageous? Yeah. Is the love and light we show just so contagious? Yeah. And then we go, are you going to have a good day? And the kids go, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
But I changed that to I am caring.
Yes.
Yeah. I am kind. Yeah. So
awesome.
I
love that.
We work on affirmations that way. And I also tell my kids like things that aren't true. And I'll give you an example. My daughter is struggling with like making friends. She's not struggling. She doesn't want to make friends.
Sure.
She straight up could care
no judgment
about the other kids. She likes babies and she likes playing by herself. And that's where she's at right now. And so one of the things I say to her sometimes when I put her to bed, I'm like, like you are so kind. You are such a good big sister. And I'll say, you are so good at making friends. And, all the other kids love you so much. And not that that's not true, but, I'm trying to put it in her head that she is good at making friends. And that,
Yep. I totally agree with you. Yeah. I mean, we only have an infant and I'm already telling him affirmations every day. So like, I don't think you can start too early. I think they need to, I think you're impacting at the age of an infant. I think I'm impacting his subconscious. We don't know what babies are thinking, but at the age that you have, you're definitely impacting their inner critic, their inner dialogue. And that's huge. I think that's something that they will consciously remember for years to come. So I think that's huge. I like that practice. My business coach, Julia Martin, does something with her kids. I'm probably not going to remember all of it, but like, I think they do affirmations and then they do gratitude and then like, what's one thing you want to manifest today? Like she has taught her littles, like what manifestation is, because little kids are so intuitive and they're like the best to manifest something because they do trust. They don't have that ego yet fully formed. So they're not filled with doubt like you and I are. And the stories that she's told in her podcast, and it's just amazing. Like, I just think, why not practice that with little kids, with toddlers, with elementary age kids like that? They're so powerful. They don't have that ego yet.
No, I know. And one of the things that I want to do when they're a little bit older, I guess I could try to do it now. I could do it now, I guess. I haven't started. But one of the things that I know I want to do is I want to say to them, what is something nice that somebody did for you today?
Yes.
And I want that to be something that we do every single day, because then they're going to be looking out for the thing that somebody did nice for them.
Mm-hmm.
And, Einstein said, whether you believe the world is good or you believe the world is bad, you're correct.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for the good, your world is going to be more good.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's partly why my favorite affirmation is I am abundant, or like I'm constantly like, even in little things, I tell my therapy clients this and I think they probably think like you are crazy, but like even in little things, I'm constantly like, look at the abundance of grass in spring season and look at the abundance of trees when I'm walking the dog, and look at in fall, I'm like, look at the abundance of leaves, because you're literally like, it sounds so silly, but ultimately what you're doing is you're training your brain to focus on abundance in all shapes and sizes, in all different forms. And so, when I was like in the thick of my fertility journey, the way I looked at anytime somebody announced a pregnancy or anytime somebody had a baby, my mind immediately went to like, look at the abundance of people getting pregnant. Look at the abundance of babies being born. And even still today, like in the last 2 weeks since we've had our baby, I think my mom has told me of 2 different people. And then I heard of 2 other people. So there's 4 people in the last 2 weeks who have either announced a pregnancy or had a baby. And so in my mind, I've been like, even though we adopted, we haven't had one naturally yet, but in my mind, I'm like, there's still an abundance of babies being born, And so it's so powerful to train your brain to focus on abundance in all forms, not just with money. That's why that will always be my favorite affirmation.
I
It's
love
because
that.
it's powerful.
I love that. I'm going to start doing that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And it's easy with kids. As long as they know, like, abundance means there's a lot of something. So when we see a lot of something, let's say like, oh, look at the abundance of toys or, whatever it might be. Yeah. I just think that's so powerful.
I love that. I mean, even today we went outside and I'm kind of on autopilot sometimes, every day with the kids. And
absolutely.
We go outside and all of a sudden I hear my daughter being like, oh my God. I'm like, what happened? Like, what? And I go around the corner and she's like, look at the flowers. And she goes, it's summertime. And I was like, oh, not summertime yet. But I probably wouldn't have even noticed that the flowers had bloomed. Truly, yeah. It's just like a small little tree that we have and those little purple flowers. And they were pumped. Like,
that's
so
amazing.
Excited about the flowers.
Yes. Yeah. That's amazing.
And they noticed it. That was the first thing they noticed.
Right. And that's something that you or I may have overlooked easily. Definitely. Or taken for granted. Yeah. Definitely. I love that. I think being around their innocence is so powerful, but I also just love, like, I'm a very intuitive person. I'm a channeler, and like, I just think kids have that ability. Kids have that intuition, and to be around that energy every day is just,
I want to hear about channeling. I have a question for you.
Okay.
I've been wanting to ask somebody this, but I don't know anybody that's ever like channeled. Have you ever heard a message?
I mean, I think so. I get downloads, like my third eye is just always completely open. I feel, especially since I found this out. And then I recently got trained in Reiki, and I get downloads all the time. Like, I'm not marketing myself as an intuitive therapist, but I definitely am one, because I will share things with therapy clients, and same with my coaching clients, really, but my coaching clients know that I'm a channeler. I don't tell every therapy client that, because here in the Midwest, specifically in our rural area, I might not get clients wanting to come back. Yeah. So I tell my ideal clients, and the others, I just kind of keep it to myself. But when I get a download, like, if that nudge is coming in strong, I have to share it.
So what is a download for you? Because I hear a lot of people say, oh, I heard, the answer to whatever the question was. And I've never heard anything.
Well, do you have other clairsenses though? Like, do you see things, or do you smell things, or taste, or like the body sensations? That's one too. Like the chills, that's one too. Do you get that?
Chills. I get ringing in the ears, which I heard could be.
Yeah, that's a big one. So when I had my spiritual awakening, the ear ringing was like freaking weird. And now I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Okay. So what does it mean?
Well, so initially I was told it meant that like a loved one is just reassuring you that they're nearby. But now I think it's more like my spirit guides, like reassuring me, like you're on the right path. Kind of, I compare it to like seeing the same angel number over and over again. Mm-hmm. I know there's different, like, if it's coming from the left ear or the right ear, I know there's like a difference in what it could mean, but just in general, when I have it, I immediately just practice gratitude. I immediately am like, thank you for being here. Thank you for the reassurance. I feel you. I hear you. And then it slowly goes away after I practice gratitude. But I really just think it's kind of like angel numbers. Like they're just reassuring me that I'm on the right path. I'm where I'm meant to be. I don't know if that's exactly right, but that's what my gut tells me. I just think, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
When you were asking about the, like how the messages that I get, like it's an inner knowing. It's just, I know it's factual. I know it's true. I don't know how to explain it better than that.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. You're making my brain think about like one of the things about me, and I'm like, I wonder if this is intuition, is I'm very sensitive to how other people are feeling, or I'm very sensitive to other people's agendas, I should say. So like
Yes.
when I was in like middle school and high school, I would pick up on why people were saying what they were saying, like the negative side of it. Like they're doing this, you know, they did that because they're trying to do this. And I wonder if that's more intuition on my side, because I feel like nobody else ever picked up on it.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be. And like in general, it sounds like you're empathic. Like you can feel what other people are feeling.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's part of picking up on like people's hidden agendas sometimes is like for me, I very much pick up on like when people are not being authentic, but I don't always let on that I know that, you know, it's just more like a mental note that I'm making. Yeah, I think honestly it is just like your intuition though. Yeah. That's so interesting. I feel like that's something we could probably do a whole nother podcast episode about, to be honest with you. Like that's a powerful topic.
I was going to say, when I was manifesting our house, I can't remember if this happened before me and my husband did the meditation or after. And I have receipts in my phone because I was getting 1111.
Oh, yeah.
I never really believed in the angel numbers.
Okay.
Not that I didn't like believe in it, but I never received it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're like, people be like, oh, it's 1111, make a wish. Like I would just be like, okay, you know,
right.
1111 was being punched into my face. Like I was seeing it everywhere.
Yep.
To the point of where it was wild. Like the app that I was telling you about, the Activations app, I had downloaded it a couple months prior. And, you know, when I was seeing 1111 everywhere, I went into the app and I accidentally clicked on something and it took me to a page where it showed how many meditations I had listened to. And this is the screenshot I have on my phone that I need to find. It was like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. It was all ones.
Wow.
And then in that time, I got my license plate. I had gotten a new car and I got my license plate shipped to me. And it wasn't 1111, but it was 11U. Which
that's so like crazy. It's pretty much like 1111. Yeah. Wow.
It was, when I tell you, I've never experienced anything like it. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
And then we manifested the house. And since we've had the house and since I have started like this new entrepreneurial journey, I've been seeing 1, 2, 3.
Yep. Okay.
And so I reached out actually on Instagram to Manifestation Babe.
Oh, love her.
Yeah.
Yes.
On the Catherine Zenkina.
Yeah, she's my fave.
I reached out on like one of her posts and she had answered the 1, 2, 3 was basically like, you're on the right path.
Yep.
And I'm sort of seeing it now as everything's going as it should in the order that it should.
In that order. Yes. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Oh, that's so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember when COVID hit in 2020, that's when my spiritual awakening started. Same as you. I was seeing 1111 or 111 everywhere. I mean, it was like nonstop. I think somebody once told me like, that's like the activation. That's like the start of it. And then numbers, I mean, like it just opened the window to more angel numbers coming at me.
Yeah.
And then so my birthday is August 31st. So since then I see if I see 831, which I see it all the time, it's just wild. Like if you listen to, I'm going to do a solo episode on this. I haven't recorded it yet, but I'm going to be doing a solo episode talking about our adoption story, our son's birth story, and how he came to us. And when we got the call or when we got the message from the adoption specialist, we were out in LA at the time. I was out there for a business trip. My husband went with me. We got off the plane. Our phones were getting off airplane mode and all of these messages were coming through, one of which was from the adoption specialist saying that there was an expectant mother who had chosen our profile. We had like an hour to drive through LA traffic, which I guess like since the fires, LA traffic is like twice as bad as it has been.
Right.
So like we just did not have time to process that. Like it had to pretty much go like out of sight for the drive because I needed to be his co-pilot. But there was a car in front of us from the time we left the airport till we got to, or no, it was after we picked up the rental car. There was a car in front of us from the time we left the rental car place to getting on the freeway, and its license plate had 831. And I just remember thinking like, yep, we're on the right path. This is where I'm meant to be.
They
Yeah.
chose you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so there's something special about seeing your birth date numbers. That's like, you are on your soul's life path. Like you're on that path. You're on track where you need to be for your soul's path. As in like our soul chose to enter this earth on that specific date for a specific reason.
Right.
So there's like a special message behind seeing your birth date numbers too, which it's just so reassuring when I see 831. It's like, good, I'm where I'm meant to be, you know?
I'll have to look for that. Mine's 429.
Okay.
I feel like, I mean, I'm sure I have, but I've never noticed it. So now it'll be on my radar.
I bet you will now. Yeah, I'm sure you will. That's funny. Our son was born on 3/29, so you're just a month apart from.
My son was born on 3/28.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy.
I wanted him to be born on 3/29 because I'm a 29. So like
Okay.
I was trying. He was 2 minutes before. It was like 11.
What?
I know.
Wow.
He wanted to be 28, so that's what it is.
Yep. I so wanted an April baby, but it's like his soul was ready to enter this earth. So
Right. That has
so
to do with
crazy.
all that human design. Have you looked into that? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I very much try to build my business to be in line with I'm a projector, so my business, how I model it, how I practice business, it needs to be in line with my human design type, or I try my best anyways.
I'm a manifesting generator, but I want to learn more. I downloaded the app that like told you all the details and everything.
Yeah.
And then I kind of just forgot it all. So
Sure.
I want to look into that more. And I don't really know much about my astrology either. Like
I don't either.
My rising moon,
Sun or
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about. That's one area I have not really dug into, but my virtual assistant, she's huge into that. She's actually going to be coming on the podcast, but she's all into that. Like the night that our son was born and I messaged her to tell her, like, you're going to need to let my clients know I'm not going to be working for the next 12 weeks. And she was like, oh my gosh, he was born just at the start of the eclipse season. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? Like, that's awesome. But what does it mean? Like, I don't really know what that means. So I would love to learn more about that as well. Yeah, that's fascinating. There's so much in the spiritual world, right?
I know.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, how long were you waiting for an adoption?
We started the process in January of 2024, and we jumped through our final hoop of the adoption process in September of last year. And then we were officially on the wait list, I think, by the end of September. So it happened kind of fast, but it's a powerful story. So once I have that solo episode recorded, you'll want to give it a listen because it's a very synchronistic story. We found out, a month before, we found out that we were chosen a month before our baby was born. So it was a very fast process to becoming a mom, but I manifested it so I wouldn't look back.
Did you have a nursery set up, or were you like scrambling to?
No, we didn't. We still don't. But like for an infant, you don't really need one. I mean, it's something that we're just slowly going to build over the first 6 months of his life.
Totally. Yeah. No, neither of my kids slept in their room for a year. So
that's what I've heard. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I mean, I think we're going to get a crib tonight. So everything that we've needed has been donated to us. The only thing we've actually spent money on is bottles, which is just so humbling and mind blowing to me. Like, I think people hear like adoption or baby in general, and they're like, here, take this off my hands. I'm done with that season of life. Like, it's been so wild. And like I said, very humbling that people have been, just supporting us left and right. I definitely think I feel very called to like pay it forward in any way that I can because people have been doing that for us. So yeah, it's been a very humbling experience. But Liz, this has been such an amazing conversation. Like, I didn't know coming into it how we've only really talked through message on Instagram. So I just didn't really know how conversation would go, but I feel like we could talk for hours.
I know. I
truth
could
people.
literally talk about this for hours.
Yeah.
Actually, me and my co-founder just started a podcast as well. So we're
Oh,
working on recording those and filming them and
okay.
everything. So I literally could talk about this for
Yes. Okay. When is your podcast launching?
there's a chance that it might not be for a while because I really
Okay.
want to have like 10 to 15 episodes in the
Mhm.
bag, and we're trying to do all of our episodes in person.
Yeah. Yep.
And have our guests come like in person for the
Yeah.
filming and everything.
Totally get it.
Her schedule's crazy. So there's a chance we might not launch until like midsummer.
Okay. Love that. Love
Who
that
knows?
goal. Yeah. I'm excited. You'll definitely need to message me and let me know. I'm sure I'll see it on your page, but
Yeah.
I will definitely give that a listen. Is it going to be in line with Future Self Apparel as far as like
Um,
the brand of the podcast?
yeah. So it's called Manifest.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
There's a
Love
lot
it.
more. There's more to it than just the podcast, but I can't really get into
Sure.
the
Sure.
rest of it. But yeah. So that's what it's called. And yeah, we rep our future self on it.
Cool. Very
Honestly, I'm
cool.
not sure how long I'm going to rep it because part of me really wants to wear like something cute other than
Yeah.
like a hoodie.
Yeah, I get it.
But the first episode that we recorded, we were repping.
Awesome. Good
Yeah.
for you. I'm so excited for you. That's adding the podcast to the business was just fulfilling for me at a soul level. My throat chakra opened wide up and it's
I
been the
love
best thing
that.
for me. So I hope that's your experience too, because it's so good for like all of us carry a feminine wound, I feel. And so it's so good for healing like our ancestral feminine lineage issues that we more than likely carry. So I love that. Good for you. That'll be so great for the business.
Yeah, we're excited about it.
Awesome. Well, I know we could talk for hours, but I'm going to wrap things up here. So before we do the rapid fire questions, is there any way if people want to reach out to you, if people want to order from you, what's the best way people can connect with you or with Future Self Apparel in general?
Yeah, so you can find us on Instagram. It's futureself.apparel. We have the little blue check mark. And then our website is futureselfapparel.com.
Awesome. I'll put all of that in the show notes. You guys give her page a follow because, like I said, it's a vibe. And seriously, purchase something from the site. Like, get one thing for starting out because I just don't think you'll regret it. Like, seeing your affirmations every day, like we talked about in the beginning, it's such a powerful practice when it's on your clothes. So you will not regret it. My next purchase is going to be sweatpants. So I'm really excited. I'm on maternity leave for 12 weeks. So I'm like, I need a matching sweatpant outfit, you know? So
let me know
I'm really
before
excited.
you do. Shoot me a message because I
Okay.
want to, like I said, I
Yeah.
still think I actually have the sweatpants right here. I still
Ooh.
want to. This is the embroidery.
Yes, I love
It's
it.
upside down, so when you
Right.
look down, you see it, right?
Yep.
But the inside is just, I don't know. I'm just not
So
sure.
like it hits you in the ankle area. That's where you're feeling
The
it.
front of the leg, and it's a little scratchy, and it really bothered me. So
Sure,
I'm like,
sure.
I don't know. I feel like I might just do that as like a transfer print.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, if it would depend. Like in the winter, I would be wearing like socks under it so I wouldn't feel it. But like, yeah, in the summer, I'm going to be wearing flip-flops with my sweatpants. So like, yeah, I could see what you mean by that. Okay. Yeah. I'm excited though. Either way, I'm excited to just have like a matching set. And I already have your shorts. So perfect for going into summer season.
Awesome.
All right. So I'm going to end with some rapid fire questions. What is a small habit or ritual that makes you feel like your next level self?
Okay. Let me think.
Yeah, you're fine.
I mean, I meditate every single day.
Love it.
So
Same. Yeah.
that's something I will do for the rest of my life.
I agree. Yeah.
When I'm that future self, or now I feel like I'm connecting to that future self when I'm meditating. So
totally agree.
every morning I'm at least a half an hour. Yeah.
Is it hard to fit that in with kids? Because I have kind of gotten off with it since the baby was born.
Yeah. My husband, so I wake up, I go get the kids ready. I bring them into our room. Then he takes them downstairs, and he's with them for an hour. So I have an hour of that time to just do whatever I want, whether that's shower or,
Nice.
But I meditate every single time. Yeah.
It's a good routine. I like that. Okay. If you could manifest one dream instantly, what would it be?
I have to word this correctly because we know words mean everything.
Absolutely.
A very financially successful business that positively impacts the most amount of people that it can.
That's beautiful. Yes, I love that. I definitely feel that too. Okay. Who's somebody who inspires you to be your most authentic self?
My co-founder
That's
is amazing.
amazing.
You
Oh,
have to look her up.
okay.
She
I'm going
is
to.
so authentically herself.
Oh, I love it. I love people like that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Just very like, she just is who she is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just a super cool person who like you can feel their vibe and just know that like you're not fake at all. Like that is who
Yeah.
you are.
Just showing up unapologetically as your
Yes.
true self.
Yes. Very
That's,
unapologetically. Yes.
I love that. That's beautiful. What's a dream destination that's on your vision board right now?
A dream destination?
Yeah.
Bora Bora.
Ooh, cool. I love that.
Yeah. When I visualize my future self, I'm first class with my kids.
hmm
And we're going to Bora Bora.
Yep. I love that. Beautiful. Have you been there before?
Nope.
Okay. Very
Yeah.
cool.
I love Europe. Like Switzerland was my favorite place I've ever been
Really
to.
amazing.
Yeah, Switzerland's great. How about you? Have you?
I have not been, I've really only been to like Mexico and the Caribbean. I haven't been anywhere like overseas. But Aruba is on my vision board for the near future. I've heard that there's like beaches where like there's flamingos on some of the beaches out there. So I would just love to like be on a beach with the flamingos. I think that would be really cool.
We went to Curacao, which is the ABC islands are Aruba, Bonaire, and
Oh,
Curacao. So
okay.
they're all like really close, I think. I think they're close, but that's where they are. And Curacao is the same with the flamingos.
Really
Yeah, you can see the
awesome.
flamingos. Yeah, they don't really let you, the ones I saw didn't let us get too close.
Oh, I'm sure not. Yeah.
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 But
Just
they're
to
really
be there in person, I think would be so cool. It's different from like when you're at the zoo seeing them, right? I mean, they're in like their natural habitat. All right, last one. What is your favorite mantra or affirmation that you are currently living by?
Yeah, I am successful. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, there's some like mental blocks there for some reason with like almost feeling like the food blog. It didn't fail. It's still
No,
there,
you're still maintaining it. Yeah,
but it's not the breadwinner. And so
sure.
there's a little bit of like a limiting belief of like that was a failure. And so I'm
Mm,
working through that.
okay. Okay.
But I learned so much in the process. Like I know that it was a positive thing. It's still a positive
Yeah.
thing and it's positively impacting people because there's not a lot of Mediterranean diet food blogs.
No.
So I know it's a good thing, but I'm getting
Yeah.
past that mental block of like, it's not a failure, still a
Mm,
success. So
yeah.
that's why I am successful is to
I
help
love
me
that.
to get past that and
Yeah.
move on positively for the next
Beautiful.
chapter.
I love that. And success can look and feel different for every business. I mean, if you're a multi-business owner, success for the podcast can look different than what success for Future Self Apparel can look like. And
Right.
any other business ventures that you're doing, like success does not necessarily, it's not a cookie cutter thing for each business or whatever. But yeah, I completely understand what you mean by that. Liz, thank you so much for agreeing to come on the podcast.
Absolutely.
This whole conversation was just so amazing, especially since we've never talked before.
Yeah.
So I just really appreciate you taking me up on this invite. And I will be putting all the links in the show notes for everything that we mentioned today. You guys, if there's anything that just really resonated with you, or if you want to learn more about anything that we talked about, DM me, DM Liz. I'll put her contact information in the show notes. And then what I really appreciate if you would just take a screenshot of the podcast and put it in your story and tag me in it. I just love to know what episodes are really resonating with people. So if this is an episode that like lit a fire under your ass, then take a screenshot, put it in your story and tag me, or just DM it to me. Either way, I appreciate knowing which episodes are really like hitting home for people. Thank you again, Liz. And
Absolutely. I love this.
Awesome. Well, until next time, you guys have a great rest of your week.
Real quick before you go, I just want to thank you so much for spending a little time with me today. And congratulations on showing up for you. Every step you take to invest in yourself brings you that much closer to your next level self, and I'm so proud of you. If you loved this episode, share it with someone who could use a little inspiration, or take a screenshot and tag me on socials so we can keep spreading the next level you energy. Thanks again for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Let's freaking go!